Hi everyone, I've just done this piece and I'm wanting to finish it, so varnish it, but I don't really want to put a glossy, or even sometimes the matte can look a little bit plastic. I've been playing with cold wax and using cold wax as a finish, so I'm pretty keen to give this a go. We're going to video what I'm doing, and I have done it before. I'm really keen to see how it turns out. It's kind of looking quite powdery in here, and I want to really bring the colour through, and the cold wax is going to help me do that once I've buffed it. So I'm going to take you through the process, and we're going to see how it turns out. So this is the cold wax I'm going to be using. It's a Gamblin cold wax medium. It just kind of looks like that inside, so it's not liquidy. And I'm going to be applying it with just this white cotton cloth. It's actually an old t-shirt that I bought, it never fit, so it's repurposed now for this. And I'm just going to apply it by literally just dabbing some, putting some on the cloth and putting it on in swirling motions. I don't want to put it on too thick because then that'll be more to buff off. So I'm just, again, small application. And interestingly, you can already see the colour coming through. A little bit darker, a little bit cleaner. With just the small bits I'm applying, I've got a tiny little bit of my acrylic paint coming off, so this is on acrylics. I'm applying it, kind of doing my darker areas at the moment with the cloth, and I'll use a clean bit maybe for the wider areas so I don't transfer some of that colour across. So you can see in these nice dark parts here. I'm really putting down the colour. So I'm going to keep going with this. It's quite a big piece, and I'll check in a minute. So it's been a couple of hours, and it's looking rather matte in finish, if you'll notice. So if I raise this up, there's no real shine. It's actually looking a lot duller than it was before. I can't even really see all the outlines like you could. The white's even looking a bit duller. And this is where the cold wax has settled on and you've got this matte finish. Now if I was to leave the cold wax on for 24 hours and then take off the excess and buff it, it'll give you a matte finish. On the product it says after 4 hours, if you take it off, buff it up, it'll give you a satin finish. So I've come in a little bit early, just been in a warmer climate. I'm just trying it a little bit earlier. So the next part is the lengthy part. So I've got a piece that's about 100 centimetres by 75, and I'm expecting this to take me about an hour. So, and quite a bit of elbow grease as well. There are other videos out there where they use electric sort of sanders and buffers, which is pretty cool. So we're going to do this one by hand. So I've just got some kitchen towel or paper towel, and I'm just rubbing like this. Looks like my camera is having a little problem with the focus. There we go. It's not liking my fast movement, so I'm just going to slow it down. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on, but you don't want to put so much on that you're going to stretch that canvas that's already been stretched. And you can feel the areas where there's too much wax because they come through feeling really sticky. And that's where you've just got too much wax. So by now, the wax that's on there will have soaked in, and we're really just buffing up that very surface layer on the top. So be prepared to spend some time. And these tend to work fine. We're really going to try and work out that matte finish and have it all nice and shiny. So I'm going to continue on here and do a bit of a time lapse, I think. Okay, so we're back. Been working on this for about an hour, and I can really understand why some people go the electric sort of hand buffer tools, because it's hard work, a bit of elbow grease. But the way I look at it is I'm adding a bit more of me into this piece. It's more personal. It's had some direct care, love and attention from me. My hand, that handcraftedness. So, a bit tricky to see, unfortunately, with the camera. There's an ever so slight sheen coming up, and that's what it is more than a satin finish. It really is just like a gentle sheen. Not the best for textured pieces, because you'll get the buffing happening on the higher pieces like this. Can't quite see it. And then the wax will sit in the lower parts and they'll be difficult to buff up to a shine, but that might be the look you're going for. You might want some shinier patches and some rougher patches, or some more matte patches. Now what I like about the cold wax finish is that the places that are more matty in nature don't come up too high a shine, so it's still like you've got that sheen contour to your work, which is kind of what I love. It makes it a bit more interesting. It's less homogeneous in appearance. So that's a really cool feature of the cold wax. And another good feature is that it's removable. So if you're using a Gamblin cold wax, they have a product that will remove it as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep working on this. It needs a bit more. There is a very gentle sheen to it after about an hour. It is a big piece as well. And just one other tip, when you're using the kitchen towel and you've used the one piece for a while, it can disintegrate a little bit. You can end up with little bits on your work that need to be picked off, and I just replace the towel I'm working with. And another really good tip is just not to put too much wax on your first when you're applying the wax, because that's just more to lift off before you can buff it up. So I hope this has been helpful. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. And I'm enjoying getting this piece up on the wall. So thanks a lot. See you next time.